Hello, MS Gym family. So glad you could join me again for Motivation Monday. I hope you all are doing well, keeping healthy, and staying away from the crazy weather that's outside. Yesterday we had like a record-breaking high, and today there's snow and ice everywhere. So this past weekend, my husband we hosted my husband's brother down that he doesn't get to see that often, maybe once a month anyway. And they often retreat down to the basement into my husband's man cave to watch an assortment of Marvel and superhero movies. And then I am left upstairs, which I do not mind, to binge watch whatever shows that I want to watch on Netflix without any kind of chastisement. And so the second season of Steel Magnolias came out, and it is a very cheesy show, but I'm a cheesy girl, so I enjoy watching it. And so this one episode really had a lot of impact on me, and I want to share some of the themes of this episode. And so this show is about these three women. I'd say middle-aged. They have teenage kids, and they've all been through different challenges in their life, but they are the best of friends. They're bosom buddies, and they're with each other through everything. And so this one character, Helen, she is a well-known lawyer in this small town, and she's very kind, and she's very smart, and she's very competent. And life would have it that she is not in a relationship, but she desperately wants to be a mom. And so she takes the initiative, and she starts to pursue IVF, in vitro fertilization. And so she goes into the fertility clinic and meets with the doctor after the start of the procedure. And the doctor looks across her at the table very kindly, and she informs Helen that they were only able to retrieve 4 eggs. Now, Helen, of course, is devastated by this, and she exclaims, she said, "I don't understand." She said, "I did everything right." She said, "I eat right, I took all the medication, I took the supplements that you wanted, I exercise, I take care of myself." She said, why did this turn out this way? And the doctor looks back at her and says, "Think of this process as an experience with unexpected gifts." Now, Helen wants nothing to do with this conversation. She says, "Unexpected gifts?" And the doctor says back to her, "These gifts may surprise you by revealing strengths you did not even know you had." In which Helen responds, "I don't see it. I don't know what you're talking about." And the doctor says, "Sometimes these gifts are the ability to embrace our own inability to control everything." Embracing our inability to control everything. And when I heard this statement, I got out my phone and I rewinded it, and I wanted to write down these words because they had such profound impact on me. Embracing the inability to control everything. And I think of, the circumstance of this woman and the circumstances of all of us, diagnosed with MS or another neurological condition. This idea of embracing, of accepting our inability to control everything. My whole body reels against this. What do you mean I can't control this? What do you mean I'm powerless in this situation? And I have to say that I didn't understand it until I had more time to sit down and really think about and process what this woman was saying about embracing our inability to control everything. And I think we push so hard. I know I do, right? I want to eat right. I want to exercise right. I want to sleep right. I want to have the right mindset. I want to take the right supplements. I want to have the right exercise equipment. I want to do everything right so that I can get the result that I think that I should have, that is fair for the effort put in. I should get the fair result. And this idea of embracing our inability to control everything, it feels like it mocks that. But when I sat down to really think about that, embracing that inability to control everything is actually very freeing, because it can be so oppressive. So oppressive when we put the pressure of the world on our shoulders to heal ourselves, or to make ourselves better, or to make our leg lift, or to walk better, right? It is so oppressive. It is so heavy, and it is so burdensome for me to try to take on all of this, for me to heal myself, for me to make everything right. There's so much pressure on every single choice that I make, and it's living in a prison. And I know that I'm not alone in that, right? You have so much pressure on yourself to make things, to create these results that you want, and you think it's all up to you to do that. And I think I've thought this past week about this, and the idea of the serenity prayer, right? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's exactly what this is all about. Embracing our inability to control everything, right? Learning to accept the things that are out of our control, but not just leaving it there, but it's also having the wisdom to know the things that we do have control over, that we do change. So we might not have the perfect formula with the perfect diet, the exact exercises, the exact quotes or things that we should recite to ourselves every day. We might not have the perfect formula, but we need to be faithful in the things that we can do to work towards the results that we do want. We don't get to control the end results. We don't get to, say, well, I did A, B, C, and D, and so therefore I should get E. It doesn't work like that way. But at the end of the day, we want to be proud of ourselves. We want to say that we put the effort forth, that we were faithful in the things that we did have control over. So I would love to hear your thoughts about this whole idea of embracing our inability to control everything, and what that does to your inside. Do you some people, they want to rage against the machine, right? They want to fight that. They don't like this idea of not being able to control everything. But after time, there is so much freedom in letting go of the reins, surrendering to the things that we don't have power over, and taking power back to the things that we can do change every day. So until next week.